What's good, family? Shout out to my doggy, Ahmed, for boosting up, sending in a much needed, vital coin right now. No doubt. We got some breaking news right now regarding your mans, Tyson, Fury, and Dillian, aka Shillian, Shite. And it's bad news, unfortunately. Although it's bad news, but not unexpected news. So obviously, you've seen the title. I saw Michael Benson put out some next article, and unfortunately, my sources are now confirming the same. Now, essentially, Frank Warren or Team Fury have leaked in the last 24 hours the fact that they have indeed organised a replacement fighter for Dillian Whyte's impending pullout. Now, the actual name of the opponent hasn't been announced, which I actually think's a bit of a... about a week ago now, I said, listen, if I was Team Fury, I'd literally be running a co-promotion right now. Although I guess you can't really do that, because if they start pushing the other guy, then it almost will turn people off, won't it? Although, actually, it shouldn't matter, actually, because it's all about pay-per-view sales. In terms of the pay-per-views, if you push both fighters, i.e. White and the other guy, number one, the reason for doing that would be it puts pressure then on Shillian, doesn't it? If you're telling everyone 2 weeks before he's going to pull out, and then he does, it looks super bad. And in fact, I think about 3 weeks ago, I said for them to start doing that. Start putting out there this guy's going to pull out, and start making arrangements publicly. So then when he does pull out, he looks all the way down bad. He looks all the way scary. And there's really no downside. Because let's say, for example, pick a name out of a hat. Let's say, for example, it was Joe Joyce. It's not going to be Joe Joyce. It's not going to be Joe Joyce. But let's say it was Joe Joyce, yeah? So, you got the Fury versus Dillian Whyte promotion going on. And then, because we're going to know on fight week, if Shillian hasn't pulled out by the Monday, so 5 days before, then it's going to be Fury versus Whyte. So what Team Fury could be doing now is, well, I mean, it's what, 2 weeks, 15, 16 days. For the next 16 days, they could be pushing Fury and Joyce and Fury and Whyte. And then come the Monday, we'll know what's what, and then drop it off. Drop either one off. The reason for doing that would be, you've twin-tracked it. But at least you've got both of them out there. Rather than getting to the flop, and then if Shillian flops next week, for example, all of a sudden it's a bit of a scramble. Although, like I said, or like Team Fury have said, they have made arrangements already. So I guess the fact they're putting it out there, they've got arrangements, is good enough to some extent. Because what you don't really want to do is get people turned off. But like I said, as long as you know by the Monday, anyone who's going to buy the fight, 5 days is plenty of time to know if it's Joyce or if it's Whyte. Yeah, it's not like, well, YB, if we tell people, if we start talking about another opponent 2 weeks out, then no one's going to buy the fight on Saturday because of the uncertainty. Although stadium tickets, which we know has been shut down, that could affect stadium sales. If, for example, they started pushing Joe Joyce now, or some lesser fighter now, and people think, you know what, they're pushing 2 fights, it's all a bit suspect, it's all a bit uncertain, I'm not going to risk it. I'm not going to risk wanting to see a lesser fighter. But what we know is, Tyson Fury shut down the whole show on his own. Why is that relevant? Well, that implies if you can sell 250,000 tickets without the main guy or without the other guy being there, that implies that people are only, or a large percentage of the people are coming for Tyson Fury's homecoming. They don't really care. And I'm not saying, I'll be a lie if I sat here and told you that Tyson Fury would have sold 250,000 tickets if he was fighting some complete stifler. But the fact of the matter is, Shillian weren't there. Yeah, they weren't even using his picture because Shillian's goofy co-op lawyer said they can't use his photo. So it's one of them ones. Yeah, 100%. But now we've got that out of the way, let's get to the meat and bones here. What does this mean? What implications does this have? From what I'm hearing, I've been hearing this for a minute. I'm hearing Shillian ain't coming. And unfortunately, the fact Frank Warren's doing this now, 2.5 weeks before, this is setting it up for a pullout. Yeah, I mean, think of all the fights we've had over the last God knows how long. How many times have you had, unfortunately, yeah, how many times have you heard Eddie Hearn say, oh, we've got a replacement ready? You don't hear that. Why? Because Frank Warren fighters, other promoters fighters, do what they're obligated to do. They don't play funny games. And I'm not going to lie to you. Has Tyson Fury played funny injury games and whatever else in the past? Absolutely. And that's goofy. And I've called it out at the time. But the difference is, there's a difference in doing it blatantly. Like Dillian. There's nothing wrong with Dillian. If and when he pulls out, there's absolutely nothing wrong with him. That's what we all know, yeah? It's not going to be one of them ones. We absolutely know there's nothing wrong with the guy. That's why it's suspect. There's not even a little bit of, well, he might. No, there's nothing wrong with the guy. He's A-OK. 10 out of 10 OK. He's just ducking. He's scared. I think Dillian's scared of getting his wig pushed back after all this woofing about, I knocked Fury out in sparring. He's scared of that happening. And also, he thinks he's entitled to more money, even though he's never beat no one, even though he is the B-side. And it makes me laugh, yeah, this whole narrative of, oh, Dillian's been treated wrong. Why is it, yeah, every time AJ fights someone and pays them 20-25%, why don't you, man, talk about how wrong it is? Why wasn't it wrong for Usyk to only get 25%? Oh, no, it was okay, wasn't it? Because when Usyk was a challenger, it was okay for him to get paid like a challenger, but Dillian, who's even worse than Usyk in as much as he's got a whole bunch of losses and he's a bum, yeah? Why? What's the big difference here? AJ pays all of his opponents 25%. All of a sudden it's a big song and dance. Now Dillian, oh, but YB, what about Dillian's value? Oh, what, you mean the 300k they lodged with WBC? Oops. Yeah? If you got value, the numbers show value. 300k in value. In fact, 300k's value is TESCO value. Yeah, Dillian Whyte's been making TESCO value looking ass purses. That's just what it is. 300k is light compared to what the numbers Fury pulling in. Yeah, Fury lodged 220 million and Dillian lodged 300 grand. And you man are really sitting there questioning why he's getting paid, what he's getting paid. And the worst thing is, this will be Dillian's biggest payday 3, 4, 5 times over. And you man are still crying about all this other stuff. And it's really sad, you know, that I believe if Dillian Whyte man fans weren't so in love with this, or if Dillian Whyte man fans weren't so desperate to try and make love with a man they've never met before, no matter what, you man could have made this fight more likely to happen. There should have been a unified front that said to Dillian, stop playing your games, it's not funny, it's not cool, and it definitely ain't smart. Because it's so bad for Whyte fans, yeah. All this Whyte, Dillian's so deep. Yeah, Dillian playing mind games, and oh, Dillian's so smart, and Dillian doesn't need to turn up, and oh yeah. Oops, next thing you know, you're in court again, getting sued, paying more fees to your bogus lawyer, paying more expenses or fines to Team Fury. When are you going to learn? These guys they're boneheads. Dillian a bonehead. That's what we know now, categorically a bonehead. Wait there a minute. For the last 10 years of my career, I've been going to 3 press conferences before every fight. All of a sudden, you're getting paid 5 times your highest ever payday, and you can't go to the 2 press conferences. Frank Warren and Team Fury have put on 2 press conferences. Dillian his whole career has been doing 3. He does the fight night or the fight week press conference. He does the ticket launch press conference, and he does the initial announcement press conference. He's there for all of them, throwing tables and all this, that, the other. And it makes me laugh. I've got another video coming soon, but just to quickly touch on it here, people talking about, the undercard's crap. Listen, if the undercard's crap, why be the undercard so bad, and this, that, the other. Listen, maybe the undercard's so bad because Frank Warren, where do you think, this is the problem, you see, you man your brains are so slow and so low IQ, you can't think laterally, yeah? Listen, where do you think money comes from? Money comes from promotion. So, let's say, for example, Dillian Whyte had jumped on full board, got involved in the promotion, tried to make this event a success, etc., etc. That then makes Frank more confident, at which point he can say, you know what, we've got a full promotional machine pumping at the moment, I can now invest more coin into the undercard. You got a man, Dillian, who we don't even know gonna turn up, and you want to talk about how you want Frank to put more money in. And these are the same cats as well, by the way, who were criticising Frank, saying, oh, Frank's stupid, he's overpaid. Wait a minute, you Shite Man fans saying he's overpaid. So if Frank's overpaid, which you man said he had. Where's the rest of the money coming from then? You man said that Frank's stupid for overpaying for the Fury and Whyte fight. So now he's done that, you also want him to be stupid again then, and overpay for some bummy undercard no one cares about. And this is the problem, you see, you man, you're just so in love with trying to rub Dillian off no matter what. You're in love with a man you never met. Yeah, you love it. Are you man lay there at night just begging for the pipe from Dillian? That's what it is. Because like I said, if he wasn't doing that, you'd be sitting there saying, wait there a minute, where's this magical money going to come from when Dillian ain't promoting the fight? Yes, I'm absolutely agree with Frank Warren. This undercard should be the worst undercard going, and it is probably one of the worst. Although actually, you know, they're all crap. Let's be real now. I can't tell you categorically, yeah, when people started criticising it, I took a seat and thought, wait a minute, let me see if these claims are valid. And I'm telling you now, hand on my heart, I couldn't name you one undercard fight from any of the big cards in the last 5 years. Not AJ versus Klitschko, not AJ versus Parker, none of them fights. Can I tell you any one double fight? I couldn't name 2 names who have been on there. Simple as that. Oops. And what that tells you is none of the undercards are that great. Now obviously you Matchroom Man fans, oh but YB, I like this certain fighter. I don't give a F who you like. They were bums. either way. For me, yeah, if it's either an A-level fight or it's a bum fight. And I've been saying for years, I don't watch undercard fights. I don't even watch main cards half the time. A lot of these weekends recently, I haven't even done reactions to the fights because I don't care. I watched and a lot of the time I end up missing half of the main event because I literally come in on the minute it starts. I'm not trying to watch nothing more than the start than the fight. It's simple as that. So for me, I couldn't care less. I want the main card. That's what I'm interested in. Yeah, because that's how the sport works. You can't have a big packed out card. You can't have a big, because think about it, naturally, any fight that's big enough to be good enough for a massive undercard should be a main card in its own right. Do you understand? You can't, the maths don't make sense. If an undercard's going to be that strong, it would have to be its own card. Not to mention all the other things. Anyway, I've digressed here. The bottom line is, yeah, shite man fans, what you need to do is concentrate on getting your man to the door, getting him there, because a lot of you cats you're sitting there in the shadows, stroking yourselves off at the idea of shite not turning up. That's what you. Oh yeah, shite, don't do it. Yeah, I've seen it. Oh yeah, let's ruin Frank. Yeah, let's do this, let's do that. You weirdos, honestly weirdos. Because me, I want to see the sport above everything. I want to be entertained. That's the first and the bottom line. That's the first and the last line. I couldn't care less about all this other stuff. Oh, I had some one goofy shite man fan. Oh, but you know, I'd rather Dillian not fight if he's gonna get 18%. Yeah, I'm staying by my boo. I'm sticking by my man. I'm with my man no matter what. Yeah, if Dillian decides not to fight for 18%, then that's what he should do, and I'm gonna stick by him. Yeah, Dillian, you shouldn't turn up. Yeah, Dillian, yeah. Weirdos. It's weird, honestly. It's weird that you call yourself a boxing fan. Meanwhile, you're not a boxing fan. You're a shite man fan. You're in love with a man you never met. Yeah, you're 100%. There's a whole bunch of shilling shite man boos. And I get it to some extent because obviously you've seen individuals like Dean Shite, like Sporting Shite Cons, who have been able to get into a long marital relationship with Dillian from the internet. Don't forget, Sporting Shite Cons, their relationship derived from the internet. So I do appreciate, or I can empathise with how some of you internet dons see the success in the relationship, in the polyamorous relationship between Shite and Sporting Shite Cons. And you think, wow, I want to be the 4th wife. Yeah, oh yeah, but maybe Dillian going to bring me in on the freeway. And maybe if I blow him off enough on the internet, yeah, maybe if I stick by his goofy behaviour enough, he gonna bring me in and it can be a 4-way. So I get that, because you ain't lying. Who knows? You never know. It's kind of like a lottery. You never know who's gonna be the next man that Dillian gets with. You might be it. Keep going. Yeah. That said, as far as boxing fans go, we want to see boxing. That's the start and that's the end of it. And with that in mind, shite must turn up. And if more of you man focused on that, rather than trying to satisfy your man, satisfy your boo, Dillian, the world will be a better place and this fight will be more likely happening. Instead, the next 2 weeks, it's going to be touch and go. Because don't forget as well, even Eddie Hearn said, before the press conference, he said, oh yeah, Dillian Whyte will definitely be there for the press conference. Dillian Whyte even shocked Eddie Hearn, and that's what worries me. Because if Dillian Whyte's doing things that even Eddie Hearn didn't anticipate. Eddie Hearn said, yeah, Dillian Whyte ain't going to miss the press conference, he'll be there for that. And then next thing you know, he don't turn up. So he's actually getting advice from the lawyer. Yeah, and the advice he's getting is from a lawyer who's doing it on purpose. It's a well-known legal strategy. Yeah, lawyers, their job is to be involved in litigation. That's their job. They get paid. The more times you mess up, the more times you end up in court, the more you have to pay them. Dopey Dons, Dopey Nicks don't understand that. Dopey Nicks from the hood, who have no understanding of business, don't understand that. They think, oh, I've got a man in a suit, and oh, it's a white man, he's got a suit on as well. Wow, he must be so deep. What you don't understand, he in your pockets, and he rinsing your pockets off. It's like I said, it's a well-known strategy. Same with all these rappers. Yeah, why do you think these rappers are always involved in foolishness? Because they know, the executives know, listen, if we keep these rappers driving around, bunning, doing this, doing a whole bunch of badness, they're going to need more, more advances to pay the legal fee. It's all a big debt Ponzi. But I don't even blame the executives, because if you're a dopey Nick, you're a dopey Nick, and you deserve to get got. Same as shit. That's why I don't have no sympathy for Dillian. Yeah, Dillian swans around. Oh yeah, I'm the man. I'm this, that, the other. What you want to do is worry about getting bumped by the inside man, the Team Fury man who's been touched. Yeah, that's what has happened. So anyway, Shillian, everyone knows your game now. Team Fury on to you. We know you're going to pull out. And if I was Team Fury, yeah, I'd be putting out articles every day saying, Team Shite going to pull out. And if he doesn't, great, we was wrong. If he does, he's been exposed. That's what I'll be doing right now. I'll be doing investigations into it. I'll be telling newspapers. I'll be leaking information. Oh, we've just heard from someone inside Team Shite's camp. He going to pull out. I'll be doing that for the next 2 weeks. And then if he don't pull out, so be it. We ain't lost nothing. And if anything, you've drummed up more controversy in the media. Yeah? 100%, because this man Shillian needs to be backed into a corner and have nowhere left to run and hide. No doubt about it, 100%.